Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Super Tees video. And in today's video, we're going to be giving you a little bit of a PvP gearing hack in order to get your 4-set bonus a little bit quicker than other players that don't know this technique. And we are going to be covering some hot fixes as well that have hit the live servers that I think some specializations are going to be very happy to see. And as always, if you want to stay up to date with news related to World of Warcraft, educational and entertaining content, then make sure to smash that subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now, if you've been tuning into some of my most recent videos, you know that I've been spending a lot of time on Shadow Priest, and Shadow Priest is a lot of fun, and I'm getting very close to honing in on that 2400 rating threshold that I set for myself to make sure that I'm giving you guys, you know, from the horse's mouth, my experience on the Shadow Priest class to give you a guide so that you can understand how I went from pleb to Chad in the least amount of time hopefully necessary in order to start seeing success for yourself, as I have on so many other specializations, and you guys have said that those guys have helped you out a lot. So again, another good reason to hit the subscribe button. So thank you guys for the support, but I've been enjoying this a lot. It's been one of the most fun specializations for me to play so far. Now, one of the first methods in order to get your tier set a little bit faster than other players is to be going to Rufius here, and he's going to be giving you the Sparks of War quest, which gives you bloody tokens. And once you've got those bloody tokens, you can go to the vendor, which is inside this building. This is all in this front area here, right? And you'll be able to pick up a bloody token piece. So you can pick up a main set piece like a glove or a shoulders, and you can actually convert bloody token gear into tier gear. A lot of people don't know that. And you can also convert conquest gear, which I'm sure a lot of you do know. So right now I've picked up the bloody token gloves and I've picked up the conquest shoulders, and it's going to enable me to basically convert those into tier. Now, the hidden thing that you may not know that is new to this season is that you can upgrade raid gear. So you can just queue up Raid Finder, basically. I don't know why this is such a struggle for me to find. You can queue up Raid Finder, and you can get these pieces. So like the first wing, for example, drops hands, and I believe it drops shoulders. So you can queue up the first wing, and it's pretty autopilot. It doesn't take very long at all to get through this. And if this drops and you manage to win this, you can go to the Conquest vendor, and you can buy an item that will allow you to upgrade those to 678. So you can get your tier set token through many different means, basically, in order to get like the maximum amount of gear this week. Now, it will require a little bit of RNG. If you want to get it this week, I do believe that you will likely need the Raid Finder bonus, because I don't think I have enough Kaja juice, or whatever it's called. Maybe we do, but I feel like I don't have enough Kaja juice in order to juice up these set bonuses for myself this time around. But I can just slap these gloves in if I want to, and I can get these immediately converted into a tier piece. These will be a 675, so it's, in the long term you will want to correct this, but in the short term it's going to give you a huge item level boost. And the same thing for the shoulders, right? You can bring them to the catalyst and you can juice these guys up, you can get them converted, and you can get a ton of stats out of them. Now, for now, I'm probably going to be converting these because I don't think I have enough Kaja juice in order to do this. I'm probably going to be converting the gloves, or I might not even convert anything just yet, because I don't think I can get the 4-piece yet, just because I didn't get lucky, unfortunately, in the Raid Finder. But it is good to know that if you run out of Conquest, you can take these bloody token pieces as well and convert them. So like you might be in a position where you got something, you got lucky, or next week or something like that, you can convert one of these bloody token pieces instead of a conquest piece if you're getting a little bit short, and you can get that 4-set bonus faster than other players. And I've seen players already running around with it, and some of them are really fun. I just did a video covering all the 4-set bonuses and which ones look really powerful for other classes. Like, for example, Shadow Priest, you get to proc power infusion, which is going to be really fun, and I'm really excited to be able to get that. But this is basically just like these little extra steps that a friend in my stream told me about Wexo, in order to get that 4-set bonus a little bit faster. So if you guys want to make sure that you're getting a little bit of a gearing edge, hopefully this tip is going to help you out and show you where all of this is done, because I know the gearing process can be very confusing in its current iteration. So I do hope that this kind of gearing hack has helped you out. It's enlightened you to a new strategy. If you're ever in a position where you're a little low on conquest, not able to get that main set piece to convert, you can get a bloody token piece, come over here and convert it just the same, or you can pick up a Raid Finder piece and upgrade it and basically get super juiced today. And you can do that on any raid difficulty. I just say Raid Finder because you can queue it by yourself, and you can queue as a healer if you're a DPS and do it pretty easily. And it'll just follow. Like, assuming you don't get a troll group, probably take you like less than 5 minutes. Now, some of the hot fixes that have come in that I think are important to note is that there have been a lot of bugs in relation to Ret Paladins, right? And they did fix one of the bugs on this most recent update. It wasn't the Templar one, but they have looked at your avatar. An issue causing Sun's avatar to sometimes not create the beams to link Dawnlight target has been resolved. An issue causing Sun's avatar to be applied to the incorrect number of enemies while talented into Radiant Glory has also been resolved. So we do see bug fixes coming through for Retribution Paladins as they continue to gear up and get a little bit better as well. And in the more recent one, I say it's like 2 days ago, they hotfixed this in, which is that Blast Wave is no longer going to ignore knockback diminishing returns. Now, knockbacks are very confusing as far as what DRs what, because you've got things like Shaman where they can unleash shield and knock people. Thunderstorm still knocks people. Then they Stagfield Totem people and still knock people. You have Ring of Peace, which infinitely knocks people, but then you can also Typhoon after Ring of Peace, but you can't do it the other way around. If you Typhoon first, then they're DR'd and they don't get knocked by Ring of Peace. It's very unclear. I think that this is probably going to be more so felt in Battlegrounds, where you would like stack a mage with an evoker up at Lumber Mill or something like that in a battleground in order to knock enemies off of the base and be able to cap it. It may have some effects in Solo Shuffle if you're most notably stacked like an Ellie or a Boomkin, but I feel like Ellie Mage and Boomkin Mage are not really strong comps anyways, but definitely I think this is a W if you're a warrior most notably, or a shaman, enhanced shaman maybe, or a Windwalker monk, where you're having really tough times actually getting onto the target. This set bonus, this change will help you out a bit, but it's still, like shaman knockback DRs are still very inconsistent in regard to mage knockbacks. I think more notably we need to be looking at survivability on mage in order to bring them back more in line. I think overpowered barrier. I played some arcane mage last night in green gear. Oh my god, it is disgustingly. It's fun and it's good, and you just get to immune stuff with invis after your shield absorbs everything, and it just basically gives you like ice block every time you get your barrier, which is like an ice block because it's such a huge absorb, and then when it's fully absorbed you can invis after you blink, and it's like another ice block, and you just take 0 damage. The overpowered barrier thing is crazy good at the moment. I think it's something that really does need to be looked at for mage as far as balance is concerned, but we don't see anything for it this time around. For Windwalkers, they have changed your last Emperor's Capacitator stacks. They will clear upon Arena or Battleground start, so you can't cheese and kind of stack this up before the game starts. Something mechanic like this always reminds me of when Sea-Doo was playing, I think it was Lively Spirit with Sam I Am at BlizzCon, and they were intervening and stacking up the intellect before the gates would open, and then come in with an Incarn that just does way more damage than players would normally expect. It's kind of that type of mechanic, and so they're hotfixing that out, so you can't cheese that type of build anymore. And I don't know how many times that has actually been done to me, because I didn't even know that you could do that. So I'll have to play a little bit more against Windwalker to see if that actually has been any sort of significant issue or really been the case. But they're definitely still kind of making some minor tweaks here. We don't see any like major class tuning adjustments, just a lot of dungeon wide changes, delve changes, kind of like visual bugs, kind of just nipping a couple of things with set bonuses that weren't caught on the initial round of tuning for a lot of these classes. So nothing too major as far as updates with this one. Curious to see if they do actually implement anything else, if anything stands out to them moving forward for the rest of this week. We're still, maybe 2-3 weeks away from AWC, so it's still some ways out in that regard. But other than that, that's it for the update. I hope you guys enjoyed the gearing hack. I hope it's helped you out figure out how to get some sort of advantage here and be able to get your 4-set a little bit faster, because a lot of 4-sets are really fun. And if you want to make sure you stay up to date with news related to World of Warcraft, once again, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.